Welcome to Movie Caps. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. In this video, we will talk about a survivor thriller movie named Nowhere. The story begins showing Nico and Mia, a couple who were preparing to flee their country while hiding in the darkness of the night. They had hired a man who was going to hide them inside a shipping container and take it to the island. In return, Nico pays him a huge amount. All the savings she had, along with her wife's wedding ring. There we see many other people who, like him, were in a hurry to leave this country. Some were alone, some were with their partners, some were in a flat and some were with children. But the answer to why everyone had to run away in such a hurry becomes clear to us in a short time. When one of them plays news on her laptop and we come to know that the situation is very bad there. Due to immediate water shortage, people have started fighting with each other. There is no such thing as regulation left. The government of this country is destroying children, old people and pregnant women. Like an animal, they are being shot in a cage. After the death of his daughter Uma, Nico was convinced that the situation here could never improve. That is why he made a plan to run away from there. He thought that his life would be better after this, but only if his luck favors him. In the morning, suddenly a sound starts coming from outside his container. After that, suddenly the door opens and many more people like him enter inside. Mia even falls due to one push. The load is too much, so many people are forced out of the container, and in the process Nico gets separated from Mia. Mia looks through a hole and watches Nico climb into another container. She calls Nico immediately and Nico consoles her that there is no need to worry. Next we see some officers along check the container. A small hidden chamber was made in front of the container to hide people in such situations, but it doesn't take long for them to understand this secret and they start manipulating everyone with their words, so that everyone comes out, and as soon as a girl opens the door of the chamber, he shoots them all at the same time. Getting lucky, Mia climbs on top of a wooden box so no one can see her. After completing their work, they throw all the belonging of the dead bodies and leave. Only Mia is left in such a big container. As soon as the door of the container is closed, the first thing she does is send a message to Nico asking him to hide, but there is no response from him. After some time, the container reaches the port and is loaded into the ship. Along with this container, we can also see the container in which Nico was, but his phone was not working. Mia finds someone's bag inside the container. She keeps the handle of the phone, water bottle and goes to sleep for some time. Her sleep is suddenly interrupted by a loud shock. Everything is shaking around her. There is a storm going on in the sea. She peeks through the hole and watches all containers colliding with each other. She screams and asks for help. After some time the container also falls into the water. The rope with which she balances breaks and Mia hits her head. When she wakes up, there is water all around and some containers are also floating exactly like this container outside. Mia gets very nervous and tries to call Nico. But due to the collision, the screen of her phone gets broken and she's lost into nowhere. Finally, she controls herself and starts thinking about closing the valve. To stop the water from coming inside, she starts opening those wooden boxes one after the other to find something useful. Finally Mia seals those gaps at one speed and sits for some time. But then she hears the screams of people coming outside, and upon seeing, she comes to know, a container is sinking and it was the same container that Nico was in, which means he is no more. Due to this thought, Mia's brain stops working. At one point Mia becomes so depressed that she starts thinking about suicide. She realizes that there is no movement of the baby for the last 2 days. Then, she picks up a knife, but just then her baby kicks her. She receives a call from Nico also, so she decides to stay alive and fight. She somehow starts spending her days by eating the lion little by little. Then, storm hits the area, due to which this container starts shaking and all the stuff gets scattered. Water starts filling rapidly inside the container. She realizes that her water broke, and in that stormy night at Nowhere, she gives birth to a child, whom she names Noah. After this she remains unconscious for several hours. 3 days pass by looking at him like this. She had eaten all the food she had left. That water was also about to end, and the level of water in the container is also increasing. Due to both extreme heat during the day and cold at night, the child's health started deteriorating. Along with this, Mia also starts making holes in the ceiling of the container with blade for breathable air. After some time the blade breaks down and leaves blisters all over her hands. She is also hungry and has not eaten anything for 2 days. Due to this, her health worsens and she starts crying, and she also experiences various types of laughter. She sees Noah. His screams start echoing in Mia's ears. The next day, when rainwater wakes her up, water was dripping due to the hole created in the ceiling, so Mia collects water in some boxes, and from that she gets the idea. Mia is able to cut the ceiling and is able to see the outside world for the first time. After a few days, Mia has to change the towel of Noah, so she throws the towel in water, and as soon as she does it, a lot of fishes start gathering around the towel. With this, Mia will not have to starve to death now, as she is able to catch fishes. Just then an airplane is seen in the sky. She tries to make her signals by reflecting light from the television screen. But this time also there is no benefit. On the contrary, in this haste she injures her leg badly. She was bleeding, which needs important to stop, so Mia first sanitizes the area by pouring alcohol. She feels pain but sacrifices everything for her daughter. 9 days pass by like this. Mia was trying very hard, but there is no benefit in taking out the water from inside the container. She uses different eyes to contact outside, but every attempt fails. 26 days have passed. The water had gone above the maximum limit. If this continues, this container will sink within another 2-3 days. Then one night, Mia gets a call from Nico, and with great difficulty she is able to pick up the call. Nico tells her that he hid in the ship to reach Mia, but he was caught while trying to escape. He got shot and lost a lot of blood and is not going to make it. Mia breaks down, losing all hope. She somehow controls herself and starts working from the next day to save her child. First of all, she makes a boat from plastic boxes, so that she and her daughter can survive if the container sinks, along with a pad for Noah. That very night the container is completely filled with water and starts sinking. Mia had already taken out all her things. Some of her photos and a chocolate pack are still inside the container. While trying to collect it, her foot gets stuck in some wires. It is difficult for her to cut with a knife and comes out. Mia manages to come out of the container, but by then Noah has disappeared somewhere. Mia starts screaming for her baby, but there's water everywhere. She was in a broken state when a whale passes below her. By following the sound, she is able to find Noah in the sea. Mia does not have the strength left to swim. They have bought the boat they had made, so they are somehow able to keep themselves above the water. She loses her consciousness. After floating like this for a while, eventually, a family on a fishing boat spots Noah on the floating raft. They also find a rope attached to something. By pulling the rope they also find Mia. They bring her on board their boat and perform CPR as she is unconscious, successfully reviving her. After a lot of effort, Mia regains consciousness. It takes her a lot of time to understand everything. She first asks about her daughter. Next, after so many difficulties, when she comes to know that she has reached the island, she starts crying. But these tears are of happiness. Whatever she endured, whatever she went through in the last 28 days. The same applies to all for not giving up until the last breath. The end. Subscribe for more videos like this. See you in the next video.